So Loki is almost over. There are going to be 6 episodes, and I just watched episode 5. Let's talk about it. This is going to be my recap where I talk about the beginning, middle, and end, go over the whole episode, everything you may have missed, Easter eggs, final thoughts, predictions, what's going to happen, and then we're going to talk about what is going to happen the last episode, episode 6. But right now, let's talk about episode 5. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, definitely hit that subscribe, leave a like, comment, let us all know down below what's your favorite part of this show so far? Like, what is it? Like, right now, this is my favorite time travel show. It's just knocking it out of the park. Loki's just hitting all the notes. I just like everything about the show. It's really good. Just share your thoughts. What do you like about the show? My favorite show used to be Doctor Who for time travel, but we all know where that went. If you want to talk Doctor Who, we can talk about that later. That'll be a whole nother video. But I totally lost interest. Nothing to do with the new Doctor, Jamie Whittaker. Nothing to do with her. Just all together, the writing, the whole thing just sucks. But this show is really good. Let's talk about it. I like how this episode starts with everything upside down. Our perspective from the audience point of view is everything is upside down, just like how it is for Owen Wilson. He was working for the TVA, and now everything's upside down. He wants to blow it up for real. So the episode starts off showing what happens when you actually get pruned. What we thought the census was, you get zapped or whatever that was, you get erased. You're deleted, whatever it is, you're dead. But it's Disney, Marvel, it's no one dies. It's just a doorway to another reality. Blah 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 blah. So this is what happens when you get pruned. You get sent from wherever you are at any point, wherever you are, you get sent to the end of time, kind of. It's not really the end of time, but you're near the end of time. You're in some existence. It looks like a planet of some sort where everything is being sent to, and you're being destroyed by Eliath. It's a monster that's made of smoke and mirrors that eats matter. So anything that gets sent there, entire planets, people, Lokis, whatever, it gets eaten by Eliath. Now, there are a lot of Lokis there. We were introduced to, we saw 4 of them at the end, but let's talk about these. Let's talk about these Lokis here for a second, okay? Kid Loki, he's Loki as a kid. The reason why he's a variant is he defeated and killed Thor as a kid. That made him a variant. That's pretty hardcore. That's pretty hardcore stuff right there. He killed Thor as a kid, made him a variant. Kind of someone to fear. I'm not sure how he did it or what happened there. It's going to be in the comics. I'm certain we can pick it up and find out, and we probably will. And then let's talk about the classic Loki. He's an older version of Loki. He's the version of Loki that if he continued on the same path and not had been killed by Thanos, went into hiding, that's who he would have became. So instead of being killed by Thanos, he had a hologram little trick, an illusion of himself that looked so real. Everyone thought he died. Even Thanos thought he killed him. And he went, just like Loki, he hid, went off, he survived, and he went to some planet, lived a whole life by himself in exile. And the moment he kind of felt lonely, wanted to reconnect with the world, and he missed his brother Thor, wanted to go see him, the moment he stepped off that planet, it corrupted the timeline. TVA arrested him, pruned. Then we have boastful Loki. Now this one, he catches my attention as well as yours. He has a hammer. He has his version of Mjolnir. The reason why he's a variant is he defeated the Avengers, Captain America, Thor, Iron Man. He defeated all of them, collecting all the Infinity Stones and kind of doing what our Loki wanted to do, just rule the universe. But apparently that's not good enough. TVA caught up to him. He's a variant. He got pruned as well. Then we have Alligator Loki. No really backstory, nothing about him. He's cool as hell though. OP as hell. Alligator Loki. So all the Lokis kind of like meet up. Our Loki is like, well, we need to get out of here. We need to figure out what's going on and just get the TVA here, get some portals. Do you have whatever the thing is? And all the Lokis are like, not gonna happen, bro. We've all tried. You can try. It's not gonna work. So let's go back to our base, hang out, and just talk. So they go back there. They're shooting the shit. They all talk about their backstories. We find out about all the Lokis, and then they get introduced. We get introduced to another Loki, President Loki. Now this is where Disney does a little bit of its little trickery here. It showed a trailer where President Loki, he comes in. There's a whole bunch of other people with him. We assume are all versions of Loki. because we don't know. He fell into this place. He met four Lokis. We see a trailer where another Loki, President Loki, is surrounded by other people with hats and horns and all that stuff. So they could just be Lokis too. Why not? But no, just henchmen. It's just President Loki and some henchmen. And the little scuffle and everything that goes on, we expected to see a whole lot more, like they showed us in the trailer, but it lasted about 2 seconds. So that's what we're going to spend on that, about 2 seconds. They're all fighting for territory. There's not much territory. They live on this planet. Elias eating everything. During the little fight, Alligator Loki bites President Loki's hand off. It was pretty cool, kind of like a Captain Hook reference, getting your hand bit off by an alligator. And that's about it. During that fight, our Loki, he escapes and just wants to go fight Elias. His plan is just to fight fire with fire. There's Elias. Obviously, that's going to be the guard dog guarding the big bad of whatever the big bad is for this series. And if you defeat that, if you do some kind of attention towards that, you're gonna find your way out of here. You're gonna call attention to yourself. You're gonna call attention from the big bad, and you're gonna either get killed or get out of there. And that's his plan: either get killed or get out of there. All the other Lokis, they're kind of against that idea. They're not they're not really willing to sacrifice their lives quite yet, but they're gonna follow him through. They're gonna Loki to a Loki. They'll show him where Elias is, but that's as far as they're gonna go. So that's where we're at now. Now we go back to Sylvine. She wants to know what happens. Where did Loki go? Where Mobius go? What happens? They got pruned? Are they dead? Are they gone? Well, they're not gone. They're not dead. They're just transported somewhere else. And she wants to go find Loki. She wants to figure out what's going on. She ends up pruning herself. She gets there. She meets up with Mobius. They have a little one-on-one. When he got there, he ended up finding a car. Saw Elias. He's obviously not with the TVA anymore. He had his one-on-one with Sylvine. He apologized for hunting her whole life, chasing her down ever since she was a child. She, accepts it for now. No, it's not a big deal. Her plan is to also defeat Elias. Same plan as Loki. Great minds think alike. So now we have our Loki with the other Lokis traveling towards Elias, take it down, and we have Sylvine with Mobius also traveling towards Elias to take it down. Now what we get to see here is a pretty cool visual. It's the Philadelphia experiment. They tried to throw this into the show, even though we can have a whole video on why this wouldn't really work, why the Philadelphia experiment didn't travel to the end of time, fight Elias, and then come back. No. But for the show, cool. It shows right here that physically it cannot be hurt. They're shooting cannon fire. A whole battleship is shooting at it, and nothing. It gets eaten, destroyed, whatever it just happened, it's just gone. Now we get to see that firsthand. So Loki is like, well, we're going to try to fight it, but I don't know what I'm going to do. He tries, fails. The other Lokis see that happen, it's just not going to work. So he meets up with Sylvine. He explains his plan to her, that he wants to fight Elias, defeat it, and she's like, yeah, I'm going to enchant it. And he's like, what? I'm going to enchant it. And that's her plan. She wants to enchant it. He wants to fight it. They're going to go with her plan. It seems like a better plan. And they have a little moment. They have a one-on-one. They talk about their lives a little bit, and it's really nice. He gets to put his cloak on her shoulder, and it's a nice moment. It's kind of weird. It's Loki to Loki, but it's really Loki and Sylvine. We'll just see what happens with this. We'll just we can have a whole conversation about this one, but it's a good moment. So after this, the plan is to go fight Elias. When they get there, it's an epic scene. They're trying to enchant it. They have to use all of their abilities to the best of their ability, and we get to see classic Loki cause one of the best distractions ever. Because Elias just wants to eat matter. He's not really interested in Loki because it's just one person. But when it's a person attacking him, he's going to eat him. So to distract him, he made Asgard, just conjured up Asgard as an illusion. And it was just one of the greatest scenes. It was just one of the greatest scenes. Glorious purpose. That was his glorious purpose. He created Asgard. It distracted Elias. Thought he was going to give him a snack. and he sacrificed his life, so the other Lokis could further in progress, and it worked. It worked. Glorious purpose. So right there at the end, after they enchant Eliath, they finally get into it. It breaks apart. You see it. It opens up a portal to another world. It looks like some kind of mansion. I'm not sure really what it could be. We're gonna find out in episode 6, but that's gonna be the key to the final boss. That's the final boss world. They did it. They defeated Eliath. Kind of. They enchanted it, and we now know our Loki can finally learn to enchant. He received that sword from his younger self, so now he has a pretty cool weapon. It's a Asgardian weapon. We can talk about that here in a second, but I want to talk about Owen Wilson here. He's like for me in this episode, he's like our everyman. He started off this series thinking one way, and now he's thinking a whole different way. He's totally against the TVA. His eyes are finally open. Now let's talk. Now let's talk about who we think the final boss is gonna be. A lot of people think it's gonna be Kang the Conqueror. A lot of clues, a lot of things point out to it, and it probably could be. I'm still sitting here thinking it's gonna be another Loki. It's Loki with other Lokis falling in love with another Loki. The final boss should be Loki. The episode, it should all be about Loki. The series is called Loki, but we'll find out. We'll find out. Episode 6 is right around the corner, and if it's Kang the Conqueror, internet got it right. But if it's Loki, yeah, I can see Disney doing that. They do that all the time. It can be another Ralph Boner over here. We're thinking a whole bunch of things are going to happen, and you get Ralph Boner. So I'm thinking it's another Loki, and that's cool. I'm okay with that. That's probably going to be the best ending. If you're still here, definitely hit that subscribe button. Let us know down below. Who do you think the final boss is going to be? And I'll see you guys in the next video.